which is a bit confusing. Wow, it's saying Richard Chooch is watching. Bring them on camera. I don't know how to do that, but that's freaky. That's a freaky idea. Maybe someday we can all come on camera together, or someone can come on camera. That's been a dream of mine for a while. Anyway, Jen, you think it's better quality too? Yeah, I like it. The downside of this is it is not also appearing on Periscope and YouTube, but the upside of that is, look, there's not that many people are watching live on YouTube, and there are some that watch live on Periscope, but when Miva was out, nobody's happy. So we've got our Bible story today. We've got our Bible story. Pictures like HD, Don says. Well, that's nice. Laura, hello. Too cold and rainy, Georgia. It's hot here. It's getting a little bit warmer here in California. Belinda's down at the beach, like I said. I had an exercise earlier today. I thought about going to the beach with Belinda, but ruled it out. Decided I think I'll stay home and just relax a little bit. Oh boy, somebody says watching old videos of me, and since you keep everything, wanted to know if you still had your brown pinstriped suit. I don't think I do have a brown pinstriped suit. No, I've let that go. Oh, my nose hairs. Yeah, I'm really trying to stay on top of the nose hairs, but you know what? It's not always an easy task. I did get, after my little tour with Russell Peters, we went to a couple of Greek, Turkish type barbers where they did this thing where they put wax in your nose and yank out the nose hairs. And I bought my own little hot wax pot that I can heat up some Q-tips, put them in my nose and pull all the nose hairs out. But that's like a once every few months. I'm not up for that too often. Believe me, you have to let enough time go by that you've forgotten how horrible that is before the next time you do it. Is the background more in focus than the subject? That could be because this one doesn't always, it's got its own, I think I just told it to focus on my face, but hell, I don't know. It's much clearer. I'm a male. Yes, I am a male of the species, Damien. That's correct. So today's Bible story is Jephthah's daughter, Jephthah, Jephthah. Jephthah. And I don't know about you, but I misidentified Jephthah gender-wise. I thought that was going to be a lady, but it's not. It's a man. Jephthah was the son of Gilead, but he did not share the same mother as his brothers. They resented him and eventually turned him out of the house, telling him he was not a worthy member of the family. Knowing he would not be allowed to stay near them, Jephthah went to live in the land of Tob. I just love these places. I love how they just put this in the Bible, the land of Tob. Oh, yes, of course. Well, he moved out of where he was and moved to the land of Tob. I don't know where that is, but it's not where he was. I can tell you that much. Time passed, and the Ammonites declared war on the children of Israel. Now, these Ammonites, it turns out on a sidebar I was able to find out that the Ammonites were descended from Lot, who you may remember was, his wife was turned into a pillar of salt. So the Israelites normally would tolerate the Ammonites, but the Ammonites got uppity and they declare war on the children of Israel. Having heard of his courage and skill as a soldier, the Israelites went to Jephthah in Tob and asked him to return. They begged him to be their general and lead them in battle against the enemy Ammonites. Okay, now I feel like the Israelites could have stepped in with Jephthah and his family. I mean, he's such a great soldier. They just let him move away like, well, we don't need a guy like that. His brothers don't like him. Let's let him go. So Jephthah, they say, come back and be our general. Not just a soldier. Come back and be our general. And Jephthah says, but I was turned away from my home, said Jephthah. Why do you come to me? I'm no longer one of you. Eventually, however, which is a good point, you threw me out. You took me out with the trash, and now you want me back. But eventually, however, they persuaded him, and he agreed to go back as commander of the army. First, he sent a message to the Ammonite king demanding that he withdraw his troops from Canaan. So this is a great move. I would have thought they could have done this before they went out to get Jephthah. I mean, you'd have thought that would have been his first question. Hey, can you come back and lead our troops against the Ammonites? He might have said, have you asked them to just withdraw? So he goes, this is like when you call tech support and they go, is it plugged in? So he asks the Ammonites to withdraw from Canaan, but they refuse. Surprise, they're invading. So then Jephthah prayed to the Lord. He goes right to the Lord. Oh God, if you give me victory over the Ammonites, I will sacrifice to you whatever I first see on reaching home. This is a bit of a spoiler alert because we already know the title of this story is Jephthah's daughter. So Jephthah, he's a great general, but his first move is to promise God that he'll sacrifice whatever he sees first when he gets home. Instead of saying, like, look, God, I may not need your help. If I can defeat these guys on my own, that would be great. But please answer your phone over the next couple of days because I might be in trouble with these Ammonites. But that's not what he says. He promises and will sacrifice anything, the first thing he sees when he gets home. Okay? So then Jephthah arrives home. Well, no, first, with Jephthah as their leader, the Israelites easily defeat the enemy. Many Ammonites were killed, and the rest ran for their lives. Now, this could be because God stepped in, and no doubt that's what God would say, but we do know that Jephthah was a great soldier. Anyway, so Jephthah arrived home, where his only child, his daughter, came running out of the house to greet him. She was brightly dressed and danced around him, laughing and shaking her timbrel, which is like a drum thing. But her father tore his clothes in grief and covered his face in his hands and sobbed. This is not in the book. Why didn't your mother come out to say hello first? No, he didn't say that. He goes, oh, my beautiful daughter, I've made a promise to God. I cannot go back on my word. But if I keep it, you, my daughter, will die. So he's really breaking it down for his daughter. And you would think that he might have said, look, I'm going to go to fight the Ammonites. And when I come back, this is super important. When I come back, send the dog out first. But that's not what he does. Jephthah, he's a great general, but he really blew this homecoming party. His daughter says, you must keep your promise, she said. The Lord has given you victory over the enemy, and it's right that you fulfill your side of the bargain. But let me have a few weeks to prepare for what is to come. So for 2 months, she wandered the mountains with her friends and wept for the life that she was about to leave. Then she returned to her father, and he sacrificed her according to the vow he had made. That's the end. Night-night, kids. Sleep tight. Yeah, he killed his daughter, but she was cool with it because he did make a promise, a foolish promise. So let's all be super careful when we're promising God what we're going to do if he answers our prayers. And for example, this is an easy one here. This is low-hanging fruit. We've all made the promise, God, if you just get me through this night, I will never drink again. And in my opinion, more often than not, that's a lie. And so you want to be careful with that. But whatever you do, don't promise to sacrifice the first thing you see when you come home from the road, unless you've already told your wife to send the dog out first, or maybe even buy a special dog for this purpose. I don't know. This show's going to get me in trouble with Peter right now. All right. So, where are we? Better than what Joseph's brothers did to him. Yeah, well, that's another story, isn't it? You're going to finish watching the new Fargo tonight, Keys. Well, Belinda and I finally embarked on our journey of the first season of Fargo. Who knew that Frodo was going to be running the show in the first season? But we got, I think, 2.5 episodes in, and we're really loving the first season of Fargo. Yes, Jen, I know you're asking Keys, but yes, I'm going to watch the debate. I hope it ends in a slap fest, Keys says. I think that might be a good idea. If it's going to be a train wreck, whether it's going to be the train wreck we want to see or not, who knows? Yeah, you never want to go outside to greet people when they're coming home. Exactly. Betsy said he should have sacrificed his brothers. Good one. 45% of those polled say Trump won the first debate. 55% knew the debate hasn't happened yet. Dana, you took some valuable time off work to weigh in with that one. I enjoyed it. All right. So what have I got here? So this batshit stuff was here from the beginning. Yeah, I think so. Bilbo, not Frodo. Yeah, apologies. Yeah, Christopher, good point. Bilbo, not Frodo. My mistake. But we don't always have time to, what do they call it when they do the debates? Truth check. We don't have time to truth check everything. It's not truth checking. Fact check everything. All right. Yeah, the debate is a good reason to drink. I suggest we can all pick out something. What are we going to drink when someone says what during the debate? What are we going to drink? When someone says healthcare, if you drink every time they say Americans, it's going to be trouble. But it could be healthcare. It could be those people. Yeah, Jen's asking the same question. What are the debate drinking worms? Fact check. Fact check could be a debate drinking term, actually. I know you were just answering my question. Dana says his nephew in Maryland has COVID. He's 19, he seems to be recovering. Yeah, the problem is now you just don't know. Puppet? You think puppet's a good drinking word? I don't think Trump is going to say puppet, but I think Joe Biden might say puppet. Yeah, bankrupt is a good drinking word. Tremendous is a good drinking word. COVID, ooh, yeah, that one's going to come up. Best in the world, good drinking word. I would say let's drink every time Trump says tremendous, but then also, just for safety, let's take a drink every 15 minutes. All right. Fake news, also a good one. I've got a letter from Grandma. We don't have to jump right into this right now, but comrade Ouija, yeah, like that. I don't think anybody's going to say comrade in the debate. Taxes, that is a good one. Taxes, any taxes, any of that is good. Deduction, all those tax words, those are good. It's only second Monday, no drinking games. David, don't be absurd. Drinking games are appropriate any day of the week during Varinus. All right. We would be passed out before the first commercial. Yeah, well, you got to be careful. You don't have to don Russia or Bigley. We've all got these are some great choices. I like crime, taxes. Sleepy Joe is a good one. I expect that Joe's going to call Trump a cheater or something, maybe. All right, what do we got? Dana, impeach. I like that. Fake news. Yeah, we don't need people passing out halfway through. Yeah, it is always time for drinking games. All right, perfect genius. Yeah, that's a good one. Every time Trump refers to how smart he is, that's a good time to take a drink. $750. Yes, definitely. When they say $750, you definitely have to drink. Okay, these are all great. I know there is a way for us to all watch the debate together, but maybe we can watch together in the group chat. That could be fun. Maybe I'll open that up during the show. I'll get in there. Pussy. I don't think anybody's going to say pussy keys. All right. It's time for a letter from Grandma. This is a letter from Grandma from 1981, December 1981. So I've only been in San Francisco since February. I've just been in San Francisco for 10 months. And this is my grandmother's style. This is the Christmas card. But this is from 1981. But they did have different Christmas cards. This was the Christmas card. Merry Christmas, just some poinsettias on the front. And inside it says, Christmas, season of beauty and peace. May its beauty and peace be yours. Have a happy Christmas. Lots of love, Grandma. So that's what she puts in there. And then she puts the date on there because it's a Christmas card, but she wants me to know that she sent it on December 17th, 1981. It's funny because the date on the card is one day later than the date on the note. So she wrote the letter on December 16th, and then she put it in the card on December 17th. Here we go. We didn't get to see you Thanksgiving. I always thought interstate roads were kept up better than the one through Decorah, which is the one we had to take to go home from Iowa State to my house, or from my grandma's house to their house. So I've come home from San Francisco evidently to see my parents, but we're not driving down at Thanksgiving. But after you and Pauline, that's my mom, went off the road from Ames east almost to La Crosse, I guess they can be bad. So one time my mom she came down to Ames to pick me up. I didn't have a car at college at the time, and we drove back to La Crosse together, which is like a 5.5 hour drive. So she drove 5.5 hours down there to pick me up, and then we're going 5.5 hours back. And on the way back, I was driving, and we went over this bridge and hit some black ice, and we're fishtailing back and forth. We spun completely around a 360 and then slid down the embankment and came to a stop right at the edge of the on-ramp to get back on the freeway. we're in the car just kind of like, it's me. I mean, I'm 20 years old and my mom's we're driving over from college. It's two of us. We've just done a 360 on the internet at 65 miles an hour and then slid sideways down this embankment, which, by the way, when we go off the road, we don't know if it's 100-foot drop or what. So we go sliding sideways, come to stop right by the on-ramp. We're like, are you okay? I'm okay. Are you okay? And this guy with a pickup truck and a winch pulls right up and goes, do you guys need help getting back on the road? He hooks up to the front of our car he's got some way to hook up, pulls us over the little bump, gets us on the on-ramp, and we just keep going. We just go. We weren't off the road for even 20 minutes before we're back on the road, kind of driving along, completely freaked out that we'd slid off the road. People are weighing in where they were in 1981. Graduated high school that year, Julie. Rich was 5 years old. Oh, Rich. So nice to have some young fans here at the show. I know you probably don't feel young to you, but when I hear you say that, you seem young to me, and I think it's so just be happy that someone thinks you're young. Alrighty, here we go. Yeah, it was a hair-raising one, Flavia. So that's probably why we didn't drive down to see my grandparents that year. I missed it, but the weather seemed so unpredictable. Your mother told me how nice it was to have you at home. And she's underlined, nice it was to have you at home. She's underlined that. With so many out of work, I'm wondering if you can find work in California. I noticed some college grads are starting to try for interviews now. And so this is because I probably would have been graduating within 6 months of now if I hadn't dropped out. Dennis, her neighbor who's my age, will be home December 9th. Jean, his mother, is anxious, and Dennis is too. The street houses are decorated. So pretty now. Dennis has one more semester at Decorah. Charlotte, my mom's sister, my aunt, is worthy matron next year in Eastern Star and trying to get her officers and plan for the year. See, we're in an election year, and Charlotte is one worthy matron for the year, so she's getting our officers going to plan for the year. I do not know whether we will see you at Christmas, but do be careful on these roads. And now you know why she's telling us that. When you drive so late, I'm afraid you will go to sleep and have an accident. Have a nice Christmas. Love, Grandma. When you drive so late, I'm afraid you will go to sleep and have an accident. And that's a valid fear, but so far, so good. It's been almost 41 years since she wrote that and made it fine. Then there's a little note from Charlotte on the back of the card. Do you get some days off at Christmas? If so, when do you plan to go home? Hope all is well with you. Love, Charlotte. So that's quite nice. Do I remember what kind of car it was? Rachel says, I remember I ended up swerving facing oncoming traffic once on the highway in a rental car, and it was the scariest thing. This was not a rental car, Rachel. This was our family car, and I'm pretty sure at that time and that my mom was driving a Buick. I think it was a Buick Electra. Because we got it like that. Buick Electra, boom. Anyway, Flavia says, I'm not going to say how old I was in 81. I like to pretend I'm younger than I am. Yeah, me too. me too, Flavia. I like to pretend I don't know how old I am when I wake up in the morning, but it's hard because it friggin' hurts. Jen, that reminds me of Chris Farley and David Spade spinning out on the road in Tommy Boy. Yeah, it was like that. It was a completely insane. It just happened so fast, and to do a 360 on the interstate is scary enough. But then to be right back on the road driving again was crazy. But we made it. Yeah. Chevy Chase and Vacation. Yes, these are all things that can happen. John Candy and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That, John Candy and Steve Martin, that's the one that I thought of. You know, I just watched that again, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, a couple years ago, Dana. And just a couple of years ago. It could have only been 1 year ago, but it might have been 3 years ago. I don't know. And it's still funny, but there's a lot of cursing in there. They drop some F-bombs. Steve Martin dropped some F-bombs. It was quite a movie. I did like. He's just saying he drove a Buick LeSabre. It could have been a LeSabre too, but I think it was an Electra. I'm going the wrong way. No. First car was a LeSabre. I'm gonna reach down here and get a little trivia because I think we've still got a little bit more time. So Belinda and I are on to Fargo, highly recommending that now. We watched the first couple episodes of Rake, and I think that is on Netflix. And it's a Australian show. He's a kind of a screw-up lawyer, and it's funny. It's meant to be a drama, but they play it for laughs. Pretty good. So we're recommending Rake as well. So is this really the next one that I have to read here? I think it is. On the many collectors of glittering jewels down through the ages, Emperor Jahangir, the noble ruler of India who died in 1627, is the most noted who ever lived. It's reported that he owned a total of 2,235,600 carats of pearls, 931,500 carats of emeralds, 376,600 carats of rubies, 279,450 carats of diamonds, and 186,300 carats of jade. Boy, they've got some pretty specific measurements of the amount of jewels that this Jahangir has. For his time, he was an enlightened monarch. During his reign, architecture masterpieces rose throughout India. One of the emperor's hobbies was fishing, but Jahangir never killed a fish he caught. Instead, he would place a string of pearls through the fish's gills and throw him back into the water. That's interesting. So that pearl count does that include the ones that he threw back? I'm not sure. If nothing else, the man was extremely vain, for his name itself, Jahangir, means conqueror of the world. Well, in addition, he had other glorious titles, such as possessor of the planets, mirror of the glories of God, king of increasing fortune. And if Trump says possessor of the planets, or mirror of the glories of God, or king of increasing fortune tonight at the debate, we're all flying to a secret location and we're going to party ourselves insane. Oh my God, I would love if he said possessor of planets. I don't know. So I'm the possessor of planets. I don't do a good Trump impression. I got to work on that. Wasn't sure if we were on today, Darren. Yeah, well, it's every day at 3 o'clock. Weekdays at 3 o'clock. I'm trying not to miss. Yeah, it was the before time, that's for sure, when I watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Oh, Betsy, I will add you to the group. I'll do that when I get off here today. Today, I'm wearing a shirt that I got from the same place that I got the Jiu-Jitsu versus Everybody. This is Muhammad Ali's shirt, and it's from super rare fight shop, and they've got some great T-shirts about boxing. They've got some great Muhammad Ali and Bruce Lee T-shirts. Who's on the black mug behind me? Well, you've got a lot of questions today. Which black mug are we talking about? I have to look at the screen and see if I can see the black mug behind me. And can I? I don't think I can see a black mug. Oh, no, I can't see it. We'll have to get to the bottom of that some other time. Hopefully I won't need to learn a Trump impersonation. No, I was thinking I'm very excited to work on my Biden. Very excited. Uma says I'm not saying Jung here right. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I'm sorry about that. On the shelf, Jen says. Okay. Well, I'm looking for a mug. But this is a mug, but that's not black. It's gray. Oh, who's that mug? That mug up there? That is Ernie K. Doe. And he is the guy who wrote Mother-in-Law, the song Mother-in-Law. He's a New Orleans legend, and I got this after he died. I was lucky enough to see Ernie K. Doe play live several of his million-seller hits, and he has a place called the Mother-in-Law Lounge, named after his hit song. And it's in a weird part of New Orleans under the overpass. Kermit Ruffins owns it now, so you can go to Kermit Ruffins' Mother-in-Law Lounge, but that is formerly Ernie K. Doe's Mother-in-Law Lounge. Highly encourage you to go there. It's in a part of town that people will tell you is dangerous and terrible, but don't believe them. Go to Kermit's Mother-in-Law Lounge, watch a football game on a Sunday afternoon, or just go see him play on some night. But anyway, Ernie K. Doe used to live there, and this mug is February 11th, 1936 was when he was born, Ernie K. Doe, and he died July 5th, 2001. And so I was lucky enough to see him before he died. So we went to the Mother-in-Law Lounge after he passed away to pay our respects to his children who still owned the place, and they had a kind of memorial there, and they were selling these mugs. So they had bought this mug, they wrote on the back, and then on the front they had this picture. This is just a photograph that they've cut out and then glued on to the mug. And obviously I bought this in 2001, and I haven't drank out of it, because if you drink out of it, his face is going to come off. But this was this is one of my prized possessions. Thank you for asking about it, Jen. I really do love this. Ernie K. Doe. He is a one of a kind. He's one of a kind. It's too bad if you get a time machine, you definitely got to go see him. Yes, Alan Toussaint wrote Mother-in-Law, but it was Ernie's hit. Cajun seafood across Claiborne from Ernie K. Doe's. Yeah, there's a lot of good places. There's a crazy wing place down the street from there that's got a bulletproof glass. You go into this room that you're in a bulletproof room, and they're on the other side of this glass, and you order your chicken wings, and then you wait on the street for them to call your name, and then go to a window on the side to pick it up. Oh, I see. We got a Negroni recipe in the chat. That's great. I don't know if the Negroni is going to be... I don't know if the Negroni is going to be the best drink to get you through the debates, but I wish you all luck. It is now officially the end time of the show. I loved to love you guys today. I wish you a happy Tuesday. I've got my Seize the Day. Did I mark off yesterday's? I think I did. And today's is from Steve Maraboli, and I think we've had one from him before, but I don't think this is the one. And so I'm happy to bring that here and do it today. Today Seize the Day. A new day. Be open enough to see opportunities. Be wise enough to be grateful. Be courageous enough to be happy. And isn't that the truth? And let's try and remember that after we watch the debate, because it's going to be a train wreck. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be the train wreck we want to see or the other train wreck, but somebody it's gonna be a doozy. It's definitely, I'm not usually looking forward to debates because they can be boring, but I think this one's gonna be just kooky. So remember tomorrow when you wake up, it's a new day. Be open to see the opportunities, be wise enough to be grateful, and be courageous enough to be happy. So let's all remember to be courageous enough to be happy in these times when we've got so many reasons to be pissed off or sad or depressed or, God forbid, suicidal. I know that some people are feeling that way, and I've got a friend who expressed that to me the other day, that he was feeling that way, and I know I've had my moments in my life where I've felt that way. So hang in there, don't give up. There'll be plenty of time to go later. We'll be here tomorrow for Hump Day. Belinda will be back in the house. We're here all this week at 3 p.m. California time. Next week, I think we may be taking a couple days off on Tuesday and Wednesday to go on a little surf vacation, a little Jerry Love trip. Still looking at campers. If anybody has any ideas for motorhomes or vans that we can look into, I think I'm looking for something more ready-made than a DIY project. Join the chat and we can discuss it there. And I'll check the chat during the debate, see if anybody's in there making some comments. Have a good night. Let's hope everything goes our way. We'll see you tomorrow. I can't even remember which button to push. Yeah, enjoy the debate. LOL. Yes, good one.